Negative and positive traits have been ranked. Professions have been ranked. We even ranked all the vehicles in Project Zomboid, and of course we ranked all the melee weapons. But today we are ranking the towns in Project Zomboid. This was an idea by one of you guys, and I'm doing it because he asked for it. So today we're ranking all the towns, and of course we're gonna be doing this based on the coolness factor, which has been introduced lately. We always have to figure out what is very cool. Also, we want to figure out how good this is for starting out, especially for newer players. We need to figure out what kind of stuff it has. You know, does it have police stations, gas stations, how easily accessible stuff is, how cool it is in regards to all the other stuff, you know. So basically, that's where we're gonna go. We have, first on the list, it's Dixie. Dixie Town is a small trailer park that goes between the Muldraugh and West Point. I didn't even know this was classified as a proper full-on town in Project Zomboid, and I don't know if I would classify as that. But you know what? The game says that's how it is. That's how it is. What it has is a food market, a diner. It has a gas station. Gas station, it's only redeeming quality. It has a lot of otherwise residential garbage. Not even good residential stuff. I'm sorry, Dixie. You're small. You're unimportant. Sure, you have a gas station. That's really the only thing you have. You are just a drive-through town that nobody cares about. You're F tier. Ladies and gentlemen, we start with an F tier town. Let's move a bit higher. Next, we have Akron. Akron is a rural town that is kind of between Muldraugh if you go straight up to the north. This used to be actually a really cool town because it was almost devoid of zombies. But in the last updates, basically the build 41 update, things have changed. Like before that, it was pretty much a ghost town. It was easy access to everything. I mean, it has a small police store, it has a hardware store, it's got a lot of stuff that you need for farming and all that stuff, which is great. But now it's not really worth it anymore because for how small it offers, how little it offers, it has quite a lot of population. Sure, it has like 2 small lakes, so you have water access. That's kind of a redeeming quality over there because water is important in the long run. We all know that. But it's still not really a town that I would want to spend too much time in. You know, right through, you bust into the police store, you bust into the hardware store. Chances are not that many people are gonna go straight for it in multiplayer, so you might actually get some good loot in there. C tier, I'm sorry Akron, you can't go higher. Next though, who flies higher? We have Louisville. Louisville. You know, whatever it's pronounced. I know you're gonna hate on me, whatever I pronounce it. So, the new town that has been added in the latest update, the multiplayer update. We all love it. If you haven't gotten on the road there, you should. It is the most amazing place ever added. It has everything and more. Everything you can imagine, it has that, and it has that multiple times. And people say, hey, no, it's not good because lots of population. It's not. It's such a huge place. The huge population that's in there, it actually kind of spreads out. It's really not hard to get to certain spots you want to go, loot certain spaces. You know, you have multiple gun stores, multiple police stations, gas stations, fire stations, all kinds of crazy storage units where you can get all the stuff you want. It has some really amazing base spots. You know, you have access to the river. It has some smaller lake-ish places in there, although those are really not that easily accessible. It's got some really cool gated places. It's got farms on the side. It's got lots of military stuff. Basically, this is S tier, like leagues above anything else that has been added to the game. And you can't convince me otherwise. Of course, your opinion matters. So please let me know in the comments what you think about all my rankings. And what do you rank the highest? What are you looking for? Anyway, let's continue on to March Ridge. March Ridge is a dump. I'm gonna say it, it's out there, it's a dump. It's got lots of residential, which means lots of population, but there's nothing down there. You need to drive all the way to the corner of the map to get to it, and there's nothing there. You know? really nothing useful. You don't have a police station, you don't have a hardware store. It does have a video store, so that has been added in the new update. It does have a video store if you want to go for that, but in my opinion, that's like its only redeeming quality. It has a video store. Wow, amazing. You know, sure, it's good for a video store, but a whole town just for that, I wouldn't visit it for anything else. Sorry, Martridge, you're F tier. You know what? You're even worse than Dixie. Nobody likes Martridge, at least in its current situation. If Fort Knox gets added later on, then this might change. But for now, down below. Anyway, let's go onwards to glory. We have Muldraugh. I am biased over here in Muldraugh. I'm sorry. It was my first town that I ever played in, like a million years ago. And I've played in there probably the most of my time before Louisville update has been spent in and around Muldraugh, so I know everything about it. You have a very easy access to the police station, because it's like really on the edge of the town. You can get there, grab your stuff, get out of it if you don't want to be there. It has McCoy's up there where you can get a ton of good stuff. It's not very populated. You can even get a bunch of cars over there if you want to. It's just good, you know? It is just good. And the good thing is most of the Zeds are on the highway, you know, that is on the side of the city. So if you go in the back side of the city, you know, or the town or whatever it's called, we have residential. It's not actually that populated. You have some really cool like 2-story houses where you can make your base in. Some of these are even fenced in now. It's got all the good stuff, you know. It even has the video store now. It has the bookstore and all that stuff. For me, Muldraugh is A tier. It's up there. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me, but for me, it's 100% A tier. Now, let's go onwards to glory. We have Riverside next. In my opinion, Riverside is the easiest starting place for any new people. If you're a new player, Riverside will be your pick. Go with it. It's easy. You have river access over there if you want to like grab water for farming, all that stuff. It's very easy. It has extremely easy access to the police station. It feels like the town is more spread out, so the zombies are not all clumped together. It's kind of easy to navigate through it. You can get all the good stuff. It's really good city, and it's A tier for me, even above Muldraugh, because it's just such an easy thing. And of course, you then have the rural area around it. You can go all the way to the north corner out there where there's some cool starting places if you just want to live in the middle of nowhere, but with road access to all of this stuff. Riverside, I think it's a very, very, very good place for new players, and that's why I'm going to be ranking it higher. Onwards to glory, we have Rosewood. Now, Rosewood has its good things and it has its bad things. It doesn't have any real water access over there, you know. It's a problem. It's pretty stacked together. Like all its major buildings are just like one lane out there. So the police station and fire station are right next to each other, but then you have all the other stuff already. And it kind of leads to more stacked population of zombies. It's still a pretty decent town. I like it. If you're clever, you can get to the police station, all that stuff, but you kind of have to drive through the whole town first, which is a bit annoying, you know, because you then attract all the zombies towards it and then you try to go it. It does have the high stakes prison. If you really want some military guns and all that stuff, you can go into the prison and you rob that. But of course, prison has a huge amount of zombies in there. That's very, very high stakes. But I still think this is like a solid B tier map. I don't think it's on par with these two, with Riverside, Rosewood, and you get the idea. Riverside and Muldraugh. I think it's B tier. I like it there. Now next we're gonna go to Valley Station. Valley Station only redeeming quality is the mall where you can go, but the mall has now been fully outclassed by Louisville, because you also have a mall there. You kind of have two malls. One is smaller. It doesn't matter. You have all the stuff that you could get in this mall in Louisville, easily accessible. So this one, it lost its only redeeming quality. It's basically a place you drive through when you go to Louisville. It's annoying because it has all the Zeds on the road then, because everybody in multiplayer keeps on driving through it, you know, if you want to go Louis to the rest of the map and back and forth. So it's annoying. It's really spread out, so you can't be saying like, okay, I'm gonna hit this part, you're gonna get all the good stuff, get out. You kind of have to go around. It's nothing that amazing. And even though it's like decently rural, there's a ton of zombies around because all of the zombies that are in the mall, they're gonna kind of start spreading out, and there's a lot of zombies around the mall, and they're in the forest and the roads, the small roads, the back roads. It's annoying. It's not a very good place. I don't like it. But still, it kind of has that mall and all that stuff, so I will rank it above Dixie and Martridge, but it's still not a very good place to be. And last, but not the least, we have West Point. West Point, I almost wanted to rank in the C, but it has some redeeming qualities that it can be in the B. Now, let me talk about this. It's worse than Riverside, Muldraugh, and Rosewood. It feels like it has more population. It's more stacked up, like its most important buildings, like the police station, it's like right in the middle of the city. Everything is around it. Those lanes down there where you have like bookstores and such, it's all always filled up. It's pretty annoying. There's always zombies on the roads. It does have that connection to Louisville now, so especially in multiplayer, a lot of people will stack up in West Point and then go to Louis, so it's got that going for it. It does have an extra gun store that is actually pretty easily accessible because you can get to it, like it's on the edge of the town, so you can get to it easily around if you skirt around a bit, go through the woods and all that stuff and break in. So it got that going for it, which is nice. But it's still not really an amazing place. It's worse than Rosewood for sure. It's almost in C tier, but it's still better, I think, than Akron and Valley Station. It's got more stuff going for it. So I'm gonna put it in B tier, and I'm gonna just stack it over there. So there you go. There's our list. We have one S tier town. We get 2 F tier towns. And, you know, if I included all the modded cities in here, this would look different. But there's so many modded ones, and I wouldn't know which ones to pick. Like, you have Raven Creek and all that good stuff. So for now, vanilla, there you go. There's the listing. If you want to see more rankings from me, we have ranked traits, we have ranked professions, weapons, vehicles. There's gonna be links up there that way, down in the description. Hope you enjoyed this. Check it out, and I'll see you next time.